What's going on, guys? Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you another deck on Pokemon TCGO, and today I am bringing you a very cool deck that was given to me by one of the guys in the TTM Discord that I believe was originally created by the guy that created Gray Shadow, which I think was also the guy that won Worlds with a Mega Audino. But that is a deck centered around Electrode-GX and Hippopotas of all Pokemon. But anyway, before I get into the deck, just a reminder that if you guys like this video or found it helpful, please leave a like, drop a comment, click that subscribe button, helps us out a ton, and let's do more cool stuff for you guys. And if you are new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Second of all, here at TTM, we are a collaborative channel where there is more than just the TCG content, which is why you clicked on this video. We also have draft format content for myself and a couple others, as well as just other random stuff related to Pokemon. So yeah, feel free to subscribe and also check out our Discord that will be linked in the description below. But also, I do have to warn you guys before getting into this video, this will have to be a shorter video, as you can probably see from the timestamp. But yeah, it's just exams. Exams are killing me right now. I want to make sure I have videos out for you guys. So this was a very fun deck that I've been wanting to do, but also will unfortunately have to be a shorter live. So hope you guys forgive me. And as for the question of the day, what is the wackiest deck you guys have ever used and really seen work? Like, I know that everybody can come up with a wacky deck that doesn't seem to make sense, but not everybody can come up with a really wacky and random idea that still works competitively. So what is the wackiest deck that you guys have either ever come up with or ever used that has actually had success? Had to ask me, I would say that honestly the Gray Shadow deck was one of the coolest ideas. I'm not going to say that I made that because I didn't, like, not even close. I mean, it's from the guy that also made this deck, but Gray Shadow was just so much fun to use. It was an idea that just, I mean, it works in theory. Like, if you think about it, it's like, huh, I wonder why nobody's come up with it, but you think that, okay, it wouldn't work out that well. But then you try it and you're like, holy crap, this deck actually works, and I've used it a ton on TCGO. I've won multiple TCGO tournaments with it, and I'm not saying that that's a big accomplishment at all, because let's be real, it's TCGO tournaments. Like, half the time in the finals you play somebody who doesn't even have like a full set of cards. So I mean, I'm not saying that it's a big deal at all, but I'm just saying, like, it can win. Like, it's a good deck. I believe that the guy that made it had good success with it too. So yeah, Gray Shadow was the most fun, wacky idea that I've ever used. And I'm very glad that somebody brought that to my attention and that he created this. So yeah, let me know what's the wackiest deck that you guys have either ever built or just ever tried that you had success with in the comment section down below. Love to hear what you guys are experiencing. But anyway, on to the deck. Like I said, it's centered around the combination of Electrode Prime and Hippopotas. And Hippopotas has the attack 11th hour tackle, 50 base for 3 energy, so you're like, eh. But if there are 3 or fewer cards left in your deck, this attack does 130 more damage. So suddenly you're doing 180 base power for 3 energy. Boost that up with things like Choice Band, Strong Energy, all that good stuff, Diancie, and you're hitting for a crap load of damage and taking 1-hit KOs. Now that is very specific of a situation. Having 3 or less cards means that, okay, well, you have only a couple turns left. It means you've gone through a crap load of resources, but that doesn't mean that you can't have an absolutely gigantic hand where you still have resources and can take the KOs that you need in those couple turns. Also, you can play around things like N, which can throw cards back into the deck to recycle those so you don't just deck yourself out. It's a very cool combination that's very specific in its way of getting that situation to arise, but when you can pull it off, it's absolutely incredible and is so much fun. But yeah, really just the whole deck is centered around drawing a bunch of cards, going through your deck as quickly as possible, getting energy into the discard pile so that Electrode Prime can blow itself up and get multiple things set up and going from there. So very cool idea. And let's just go through the lines of Pokemon and why we are running it. Again, this is going to have to be a shorter deck video. I am so sorry, but unfortunately IRL takes precedence over Pokemon, and it's exam season again, so yeah, sorry about that. But anyway, as for the Pokemon, we're running single copy of Oranguru for Pokemon draw support. We can play our hand down, Oranguru into a couple more cards, maybe extend the turn just by a little bit, or just really just see more cards, get more cards in our hand that we can hopefully play down and get ourselves into a situation where we have 3 or less cards. Single copy of Shaymin for setup, just play that down, draw into more cards, just a way of extending our turn, seeing more cards. Same kind of idea with the Oranguru, but Shaymin's a one-time thing that's a little stronger. Single copy of Buzzwole as a non-Hippopotas attacker. that can attack for a single energy. If your opponent has knocked out 2 Hippopotas, then suddenly Sledgehammer is a very solid attack that can hit for a lot of damage. Copy of Diancie for the ability to boost our damage output for Hippopotas, as that's what this deck is centered on. Absolute max number of those. Try to power up as many as possible with Electrode. And what Electrode does, blows itself up, and you attach 5 energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way that you like. So with an Electrode, you can power up at least 2 Hippopotas. Oh, you can power up 2 Hippopotas and put another energy on it. That way you can use your manual attachment to get Hippopotas up that turn. And then, of course, there's the synergy between Electrode and Buzzwole, to where you blow up Electrode, and then Buzzwole is suddenly powered up with, or Sledgehammer is suddenly hitting for 124 a single energy as a base. So a very cool combination there. And then 3-2 of Voltorb and Electrode, just to, really you only want to blow up 1 Electrode per game, but this just gives us the ability to have Electrode and blow it up when we want to. Now the rest of the cards are just, let's just mill through our deck as quickly as possible and get set up. For Acro Bike, just puts cards in discard pile and also lets us go through more cards in our deck. Battle Compressor to mill cards that we don't necessarily want to draw into and just reduce our deck size significantly, absolute max number of those. And Acro Bike just to go through cards, mill our deck as fast as we can. Field Blower in case we run up against Garbodor, and this is expanded, by the way, in case you can't tell, but in case we run up against Garbodor, to shut off our abilities, because that would really suck if we can't, or if they get shut off before we can get Electrode, so Field Blower is good for that. 2 Nest Ball and 4 Ultra Ball to get our Mons out, just go through our deck, get the Mons on the bench that we want, mill through the rest that we don't. 4 Roller Skates, because, I mean, if you play it and you draw 3 cards, fantastic. If you don't, well, then that's another card that you played, another card that you don't have in your deck. So it's just kind of a win-win whether or not you flip heads or tails, although you really kind of sort of always want to flip heads. Town Map to look at our prizes so that we can pick out what we want later in the game when we are down to our last 3 cards in the deck and attacking with Hippopotas. We can be very selective with our prize cards in order to maximize the chances of winning. For Trainers Mail, again, just to see more cards, go through more cards in our deck. Already went through the Ultra Ball. 3 VS Seeker, we're not running 4 just because we're going to have a very low deck size, so running 4 VS Seeker isn't necessarily the best, because that's a card that's just kind of dead in your hand if you've already played your supporter, or if you don't have a ton of supporters in the discard pile yet. So yeah, VS Seeker is something that you can't play multiple of per turn effectively. So it's just kind of a card that we were like, you know what, it's powerful, but let's only run 3. Single copy of Parallel City to try to make the matchup against things like Zoroark a little bit better. Just disrupt our opponent to the point where maybe they can't win in those couple last turns, so we can overtake them and make the comeback with our Hippopotas. Then as for the supporters, Guzma and Sycamore. Of course, Sycamore is the one that we're running the highest number of, just because we want to throw all of our cards in the discard pile and see more cards. Just very straightforward, fits in perfectly with this deck. Guzma for picking off selective Mons that we want to. And then N might seem kind of weird because you're putting cards back in the deck, but when you only have 3 cards left, N is a way to be like, okay, I'm not going to deck out now. I'm just going to put these cards back and give myself a couple more turns to try to attack. Then we have 2-2 of Choice Band and Float Stone. Just Choice Band boosting our damage output, Float Stone being able to put on like Shaymin or just something that we don't want to have active or we don't want to attach energy to. Focus Sash for the ability to have Hippopotas survive a turn, because when you get a Hippo powered up and it's hitting for 180, odds are with the combination of Diancie and Strong Energy, you're able to take the Oko without a Choice Band. So Focus Sash just lets you live an extra turn, which can be potentially huge because you're taking 4 prizes with the Hippopotas as opposed to 2 ideally. And then as for the energy, 4 Strong Energy, 4 DCE, and 1 regular fighting just to power up all of our Mons. Get things ready to go as quickly and consistently as possible. So yeah, that's the deck. Let's just go ahead and see this deck in action. Alrighty, we have found one against Vidirox with a, honestly, looks like a Zoroark Golisopod deck. So, yeah, we about to get smacked, but we gonna go down in style. Luckily, we do win the coin flip, so we will get to go first. That is nice in the very least. And I'm excited to see how this deck works. I mean, I tried it a couple times, but I mean, I bricked hard in one game, and in the other game, my opponent quit as soon as I was able to Electrode onto Hippopotas, so hopefully this one ends up a little bit better. I have the makings of a solid start. I'm going to be able to play down the Voltorb. Let's Focus Sash up the Hippo. And how do I want to do this? I think I want to Roller Skates, and I actually hit head, so that is beautiful. Let's go ahead and Ultra Ball. Get rid of the Field Blower and the Electrode. I just want to get as many cards out there as possible. Let's grab a Oranguru so that I still have the Pokemon draw support at the very least. Play that down. Let's actually Ultra Ball, get rid of the Sycamore and the Trainers Mail for the Shaymin. I could have thrown the Strong Energy in the discard pile, but at this point, I'm just like, you know what, screw it. Let's go ahead and play my hand down to, well, 1, but then a Oranguru for 2 more cards, see if I can get anything good. Not really. Let's Shaymin for 4 more cards. It really didn't matter. It's just like, oh, maybe I could have gotten something else out of that turn had I gotten something, but, ooh, here we go. So I'm able to get a Strong Energy into the discard pile. Let's go ahead and Roller Skates. I whiff it. It's not a huge deal. Let's play down the Voltorb just to play it down. Actually, you know what? That was a really big mistake because I already discarded an Electrode, and yeah, that was a bad play. I should not have played down the Voltorb. I should have just been able to discard that. But ooh, here we go. We get another Hippo. Which go ahead and do that. Let's Choice Band up that one, and then Sycamore away my hand. See what else I can get. Ooh, this is nice. So let's Battle Compressor. Get rid of Guzma N and a regular fighting, I think. Yeah, because there's already 3 energy in the discard, or 4 energy now in the discard pile. Let's Battle Compressor, get rid of the... How do I want to do this? Let's get rid of both of my Nest Balls, and then... No, let's not get rid of the Buzzwole. Let's get rid of the Voltorb, because I only have 1 Electrode. Yeah, I should not have played that second Voltorb down. That was a big mistake. But let's Acro Bike, see what we can get. Ooh, we get the Float Stone. That is beautiful. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I mean, I hate to get rid of the VS Seekers, but I mean, you do what you got to do at this point when you're trying to play everything down. Let's go ahead and Float Stone up the Oranguru, just because, I mean, that thing requires a DCE, whereas Shaymin just requires an energy. But then again, at the same time, Shaymin also is, like, I had to attach a DCE to them to manually retreat anyway. My opponent is going to play the Bridget, which is fine. That's going to get him a full bench setup this turn 1. So... yeah, I mean, I saw the Bridget and had to do a double take. I was like, wait, I'm in the expanded format. I completely forget. I'm so used to playing in either Standard or Legacy, both of which do not have Bridget. So, yeah, that was just kind of a double take, like, huh? But either way, are going to play down the Lycanroc, the Zorua, and... or not the Lycanroc, the Rockruff and the Zorua. And what I'm actually going to do is just go ahead and 11th Hour Tackle. I mean, like, I'm not hitting for all the damage that I want, but, like, there's no reason for me to hit that hard just yet. Like, I have 0 reason to. All I have to do is just go ahead and take my knockout, and then wait. If he knocks out a Hippopotas, then I can Sycamore away my hand, or do all that good stuff. But if he doesn't, then I can just take the damage given to me. I am getting dangerously, or not dangerously, I'm getting very close to getting the range where 11th Hour Tackle is activated. But he is able to Field Blower away my Focus Sash, which actually really, really sucks. And then he is going to Chorus. Man, I wish I didn't have that Voltorb down. That was a huge misplay. Like, I had 0 reason to play that second Voltorb down. Like, the first one, yeah. But as soon as I got rid of the second Electrode, like, I should not have played that other Voltorb down. I would love to have another Hippopotas at this point. Just be able to power up those things fully. And, yeah, power up multiple of those fully. But he is going to take out this one because of the timely Field Blower as well. So just kind of a double whammy for me. One was my own fault. The other was, you know what, I'm going to blame my opponent for that one. That was just good draw, or a lucky draw on his part. But he is going to be able to knock me out with the 1 more Pokemon that he is going to be able to put on the bench. And yeah, we're not in a good spot. Plain and simple, not in a very good spot at all. But he is able to knock out the Hippo. It's less than ideal. But what I can do... play up this other Hippo, play down another one, and then hopefully Electrode. And I get another Float Stone. That's beautiful. So let's just keep Float Stoning up the Oranguru. Let's Strong Energy up the Hippo. And then, how do I want to do this? So unfortunately I need another Strong Energy in order to KO the Zoroark with a non-3-card 11th Hour Tackle. But I do get the Electrode, so I mean, there, we got it anyway. Let's go ahead and, no, doesn't evolve. Hippopotas does not evolve into Electrode. Sorry about that. But, okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I wish I could play the Buzzwole down. But, man, that'd be really nice to have 2 or 3 Hippopotas that I could play down. But either way, let's just go ahead and grab... Let's actually just grab all 3... Do I want to do this? Just grab all 3 DCEs and 2 strong energy? Yeah, I do. I mean, it's... Damn it. Darn it. Sorry. Ah! YouTube, don't take me down. Lost my filter there for a second. I just realized that I really misplayed by not only playing down the Voltorb, but also getting rid of the regular fighting energy. Ah, sorry guys. This is family friendly. There was just a minor slip up. But what I'm actually going to do is get that second strong energy onto the Hippo, so that I will be able to knock out the Zoroark with a non 3-card deck 11th hour tackle and just play it from there. I mean, I definitely have the resources to, but I think at this point, like, I don't have the ability to get my deck, to get my stuff, or to refill my deck, so I think that that's just a better idea to not bother with that and just take the knockouts where I can get them. So let's knock out the Zoroark, 240 damage. Just enough for the knockout. Get the town map, which is nice to be able to figure out which of my last prize cards I will want to grab. And this is actually really, really coming down to the wire. Not sure I'll be able to pull it off, because he will be able to knock me out this coming turn. Actually gets rid of the Mewtwo. That's interesting. He must have another Mon to play down. But, how are we going to do this? But he is just going to grab another Zoroark. I mean, that's fine. Actually, I think that might be the game, because I won't be able to knock out a Zoroark. But then I have to try to use Oranguru to knock out a Rockruff. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do that. That's unfortunate. So I mean, I do think that, like, even though the game's far from over, I mean, it's 3-3, I think that we just don't quite have enough to be able to pull out the win in this instance. I think well, first of all, had I not been stupid and played down the first Voltorb, or the second Voltorb, then I would have been able to have 3 Hippopotas powered up, and I think I could pull out the game at that point. But at the same time, I also shouldn't have gotten rid of that regular fighting energy, because now... actually, no. Shouldn't have gotten rid of the regular fighting, because then I could still manually attachment. Now the only way I'm accessing that is if I blow something else up, and then I could have just... Yeah, I had the resources in my hand to play my deck down to 3 so that 11th hour tackle was active, so that I didn't need to play the second strong energy. So, yeah, I think I just misplayed quite a bit in this game. I mean, to be fair, I'm still using a wacky deck, but obviously I'm not as skilled with it as the creator was. Because, I mean, he actually had some decent success with this deck. I think he, like, top 16 to regional or something like that with it. But, ooh, this is tempting. This actually could be amazing for me. So, there's a strong energy in there. What I'm going to do is Ultra Ball to get rid of my Ultra Ball and the Battle Compressor. And then let's Parallel City. Let's make sure that my opponent has to counter my Stadium and play a Pokemon down in order to knock out my Hippo this coming turn. So he not only has to counter the Stadium, but he has to get 2 more Pokemon into play in order to knock out my Hippopotas with Riotous beating this coming turn. So this could actually be very big for me. And, I mean, I will be able to get the strong energy. Man, I really would have liked to have another Hippo down. But let's... How do I want to do this? So, I think I want to power up my Oranguru fully, because I think I might have to knock out the Rockruff. And then let's 11th hour tackle, knock out the Zoroark, and take the strong energy and the... I'm gonna grab the Diancie. Yeah, why the heck not? Like, there's zero reason to not grab the Trainer's Mail, but I mean, like, there's nothing left in my deck that I can particularly use. He does put up the Muck. And I'm thinking that maybe Buzzwole can come through, potentially. I'm not sure. So this is kind of a tricky situation. My opponent is going to trade. What does he get? Because he has to counter my Stadium and get 2 more Pokemon down to knock out my Hippopotas, which is not unreasonable by any stretch of the imagination. Because, I mean, it's literally just 2 Pokemon and a counter Stadium, or even just a Field Blower to get rid of it. But he did already play a Field Blower, so there's a chance he's not running 2. So this is a very tricky spot, because he is going to Guzma. What's he going to bring up? Brings up the... oh, crap. Brings up the Shaymin. And yeah, I think I just lose. I don't have a way of getting my Shaymin out of the active, and he's going to be able to 2-hit KO me. So, you know what? Well, first of all, had I held on to that DCE, had I not gotten rid of the regular fighting early on, yeah, I mean, basically, had I not played the DCE onto Oranguru, like I should not have at all. That was a very dumb play to play it onto Oranguru, because either way, I would have been able to power it up this coming turn. But let's go ahead and see. Yep, there is nothing left at all, so I'm just going to dip. I mean, like, that game was winnable. That game actually ended up being very, very winnable. I just choked really, really hard by playing the DCE onto the Oranguru. If I had not played that DCE, then I won the game. He was not able to knock out my Hippopotas. Would have just played the DCE onto Shaymin, retreated into Hippo, and won the game. And then there's also the playing the Electrode. Like, basically, I misplayed quite a bit that game, and even so, this deck was still able to almost beat a Zoroark deck, like an expanded Zoroark deck. So, very, very impressed with how this deck is able to perform. I mean, obviously, if somebody who knows the insides and outs of the deck, somebody who plays it better than I did misplay horribly, like I said over and over. So, yeah, I mean, like, very cool deck. I encourage you guys to try it out. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to end it there. Again, I'm very sorry that this was a shorter video, but yeah, IRL takes precedence over Pokemon, but hope you enjoyed nonetheless. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and this is Styx, signing out. Why not? See you guys.